first what you're going to need is, of course, pipes. Cannot do this project without this. And also I recommend a sawzall. In the sawzall, I recommend a steel cutting blade. It will be quite difficult to cut any kind of pipes with a sawzall without it. I am using a SKILSAW sawzall and a SKILSAW 9-inch steel cutting blade. You can actually use probably a 4 or 6-inch blade. This is fine. The 9-inch is actually pretty long. Some exhaust clamps. I ordered mine from a company called Evil, and I will include a link for those below as well. Very easy to work with, and some sort of impact tool. So the first thing that you want to do is kind of line up your pipes underneath, kind of match them up with the flow of your current exhaust. As you can see here, I actually already have a mid muffler delete on this vehicle. So this is actually just deleting the resonators on top of it. So when you're lining up the pipes underneath, you get kind of a good idea of where this is going to end up. And so what I did here was I marked a line where I would need to cut. And actually that's marked more closer to the rear of the vehicle than it is to the front. And the reason for that is so that I leave a little bit of meat on the left on the bone there, because you don't want to cut it too short and not be able to link it up. So you want to make sure that it is as close as possible. So cut a little bit closer to the rear. That way you can trim little pieces later. And as you can see here, after cutting one side here, I've already removed the other side here. So just jumping ahead a little bit, you see the rubber hangers. So it's probably wise to use lubrication. I've noticed that it's very, very difficult to get the exhaust hangers off of these rubber hangers. As you can see, as I come up to where I cut the pipe to try to make a joint with the clamps, and this is why I say cut a little bit closer to the rear, because they leave a little bit of meat on the bones, because as you can see, it's not really lining up that well. And because of this, now I can kind of get an exact measurement and kind of trim that off a little bit. It's a little bit harder to measure the pipes since they bend in every which way. So now you can see I have the clamps in, and I'm about to tighten it with a 15mm socket. And what you want to do is you want to use another wrench on the back side, and then kind of use your impact tool to tighten it on the other side. Very easy to use. Sometimes I found myself trying to work the pipe a little bit, just a tiny bit, not too much of a struggle, but as you can see, the mid mufflers have been deleted, and therefore this may not be the same situation as yours, but as I have seen it, if you can find some straight pipes, and if you have a pipe bender, you can easily do this by replacing your mid mufflers too, and you'll be able to get the exact same sound, and using clamps on the other side. So without further ado, this is actually the end result after it's all done.